All right, we've got tons of shit you couldn't make up this week. It's a
Well,
crazy week.
Smitty has tons of shit you couldn't make up.
Well, I think you'll agree. I want to start with Salvador Perez, and we mentioned him briefly
The
last week.
the home run leader?
Yeah, the current Major League home run leader. He just set the record for home runs by a catcher in a season.
Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench had to call him up and congratulate Salvador Perez on passing his 45 home runs. Historic shit we're seeing from Salvador. Very peculiar, I guess is how I would say it. I don't think anyone had, he's always been a solid catcher. He's a tremendous defensive catcher, definitely a team leader, a World Series champ. I don't think I know most of these players through fantasy, and I never considered this year at least Sal as a catcher among the top 10 even going into this season, with home runs or production that you worry about for fantasy. And all of a sudden he's having the greatest season by a catcher ever. And
yeah, his highest year is 27 homers.
Yeah, that was the thing I was going to bring up. He's already beaten his previous high of homers by 19. He's basically doubled his career high in homers, which is insane. So I guess it's cool. It's fun to celebrate. Everybody loves the guy. I think I have no complaints about it. I think all the stories I've heard about him, he's awesome. Whether he's producing behind the plate or not, he's an incredible defensive catcher. He's a team leader, fun guy. But I just remember you watch. I'm a history buff, and you watch documentaries, and of course, Ken Burns baseball is probably my favorite of all time. He did the 10th inning a couple of years ago to cover the steroid era, and you've seen journalists talk about this and other things, looking back at the steroids era, and everyone, and even fans think, we were all just loving it and enjoyed it at the time, but should we have turned a more critical eye? How could we not have seen this? A lot of journalists said they weren't doing their jobs retrospectively, that they just overlooked what was obvious to everybody in front of our faces, because it was just so much damn fun watching everyone hit home runs and seeing baseball come back from the strike of 94, and how that was such a down time, and how the steroids played an integral role in getting baseball back. And I'm not saying, I'm just saying this Salvador Perez thing is bizarre. The numbers he's put up this year, it's a fucking blast, but this is bizarre, the kind of numbers he's putting up out of the blue. So I think my new catchphrase now, and I think I had it last week, I forget what I was talking about, but I'm raising an eyebrow. It seems a little peculiar. I hope it's all on the up and up, but I'm thinking there's a potential that we're going to hear there's more to this story in years to come. So I don't know if you have the same cynicism as I do. Maybe I'm just a cynical fuck and I should get over it. But
it's a little
weird.
Odd that it's happening now.
Mm-hmm.
What was he? Well, he's what, 28?
He is 31 years old.
Oh, 31. Okay, so that makes it 28 would make sense.
It would make more sense.
Doesn't make sense.
31 makes even less sense for a catcher, which traditionally after the age of 30, catchers production drops precipitously. So
he fell into some weird Fisk stat too, because Fisk in like one of his final years with the White Sox hit something crazy like 35 homers or some shit. Like he was like the only catcher to ever do that in a like advanced stage or something like that.
But what he's doing is even blowing that out of the water.
So. Oh yeah, he's destroying it. And the way he swings and misses, it almost doesn't add up. Like this guy chases just complete shit all the time.
I've heard he said he's changed his approach this year, and which obviously he has. He is swinging for the fences all the time. So that explains the swing and miss. But how did he not think of this before? If he had 46 home run potential that no one in the history of baseball has had at the catcher's position, how did no one think of this before? I'll just swing at go for the fences on everything. Well, That may have been
Yeah, I
tried by
mean,
many people over the years, and it's never worked to this effect. So this
well, and
historic
he's
effect.
yeah, and he's a historic pitch chaser. I mean, the most he's ever walked in a season is 26 times this year, but prior to that was 22 times.
Mm-hmm.
He consistently has near 100 or more strikeouts, every season. He's at 158 this year, but I bet his BABIP is probably crazy.
Yeah.
It must be crazy to have put up 115 RBIs and 46 home runs with so little walks and so many strikeouts. I mean,
It's peculiar. I think we should just leave it as it's peculiar. There's a reason I'm raising my eyebrow.
yeah,
Uh,
it just doesn't add up.
yeah,
When his two best years were 27 home runs in his prime, that's when his prime was. So
yep,
we'd imagine if he hit 27 home runs this year, even if he hit like 30 or 31, I'd be like, whatever, that's cool.
yeah. But yeah, we've never seen this before. I want to say it in the moment, even though it makes me look like a cynical asshole, which I'm more than happy to do. It's just, I think we got to take a close look at this, and history may not be as kind to Salvador Perez as we are being kind to him right now. So we'll leave it at that.